1 day left before the mega fight between Terrance "Bud" Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. It looks like Errol Spence Jr. is getting a little bit upset that a lot of celebrities, other than obviously his home Dallas Cowboys, are picking Terrance Crawford to win. Eminem is picking Terrance Crawford to win. Rick Ross is picking Terrance Crawford to win. Obviously, his fellow combatants, Keyshawn Davis and Shakur Stevenson, are picking him to win. I am picking Terrance Crawford to win. It's not just about picking Terrance Crawford to win because I think he's the more complete fighter overall. He's the better human being. I don't see why you wouldn't cheer for Terrance Crawford. I can make so many arguments why cheering for Terrance Crawford is the way to go. Even though Errol Spence Jr. is the A side, which in my opinion he shouldn't be. He's the A side because he's from Texas, and when you're from Texas and you're around the Dallas Cowboys and you're around all these strip clubs in a big city like that, like Dallas, obviously you're going to be the A side. You could put more butts in the seat. You're from Texas. You're from one of the biggest states in America. Terrance Crawford is from a blue-collared, small little town, Omaha, Nebraska. So when I hear idiots saying Omaha, Nebraska is not about that life, or Terrance Crawford can't put butts in the seats, have y'all seen the difference between Dallas, Texas, and Omaha, Nebraska? Omaha, Nebraska is tiny. Dallas, Texas is humongous. So you just have to ignore idiots like that. You know what I'm saying? I think come Saturday night, it's not going to matter what Errol Spence does. Errol Spence is going to come with his strength. He's going to come with what he always does. He's going to throw a lot of punches. He's going to try to wear Terrance down. But Terrance is going to have an answer for everything Errol brings. And I can see it in Errol's face. Errol's upset and he's nervous that Terrance Crawford can get mad, get emotional, and still won't affect him in the ring. Terrance Crawford is one of those rare fighters that even if he gets emotional, even if he gets mad before the fight, whatever happens, he will not let it show come fight night. He is going to bring it all in the ring, and I don't think he's going to show any flaws or weaknesses. I think Terrance Crawford will be the one that to show his full-blown arsenal. I think Errol Spence will be the first one to fold, if anybody. I think a lot of people have prematurely written Errol Spence as the best fighter. I think Errol Spence being from Texas and having the Cowboys and all these people being on him, like Frank Martin, and everybody loving him, and him calling himself the A-side, I think he's getting a little too ahead of himself because there is no real A-side in this fight. I mean, he is technically the A-side because he was Al Heyman's first project, but if we're being honest, they're both A-side fighters. He needs to understand this is a 50-50 fight. Vegas doesn't have it even odds for no reason. And if I were Errol Spence Jr., I would get the whole I'm the A-side out of my head a day before fight night. And the fact that everyone's picking Terrance Crawford, I think everyone out there knows that Terrance Crawford is the best fighter in the world. Not only that, Terrance Crawford got mad at Canelo Alvarez for picking Terrance Crawford to win the fight. And he got on Canelo Alvarez and said, just like you picked yourself to beat Dimitri Bivol, and Dimitri Bivol beat your behind, right? But guess who Dimitri Bivol's picking to win this fight? That's right, you guessed it, Terrance "Bud" Crawford. So there's barely any boxers out there other than Stephen Fulton and Frank Martin and maybe a couple other PBC guys that are picking Errol Spence. You notice the only people picking Errol Spence to win are people who just like Errol Spence more. People who understand boxing and who are just picking the winner on a no biasness at all are picking Terrance "Bud" Crawford.